Well, hello everyone, and thank you for attending this Perispect webinar. I hope you guys at least have a little bit of experience with Perispect, but today I'll just kind of be going over some of the reports, some of their features, and then there should be the ability to ask questions along the right side in the group chat. Now, if that feature is not working for you, I know we were having some problems with it earlier, feel free to shoot me an email. I will have my email and phone number up after the presentation. So feel free to jot that down and shoot me any questions you have if you're not able to ask those during the presentation. So yeah, my name is Steve Osterbach. I'm a Perispect lead here at etailz, and I've been with Perispect for about 2 years. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. So what is Perispect? Perispect is primarily a price monitoring service. So we let you know who is selling your products and at what price. Most of the reports are focused around MAP. Now MAP is minimum advertised price, and it's similar to MSRP. Why would you want to monitor that? What is the point of having a understanding of who is selling on your channel and what price? There's a few different things that are happening, and a lot of them are primarily happening on Amazon US. We're having all these price wars with these pricing issues, and it's causing brand and basically those products and the image that you have of that brand and what you creating relationships with other sellers online and then other brick and mortars as well. So if you walk into a Target and you know that you can find a product cheaper online, Target is missing out on that sale. The pricing issue is something that needs to be controlled, and I think it's very important for brands to monitor that. So I'll go ahead and start, and then like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type away there, or you can shoot me an email after with any questions. So what we're looking at right now is the dashboard. This basically is just a snapshot of your channel. You're going to have today's date at a glance, and this information that's displayed will be for your brand. It will have the number of offerings below MAP. We keep track of any new sellers. We have sellers that are offering below MAP. And then here is just a breakdown of your channel so you can see where a majority of your pricing's at. Below that, we have a 90-day progress report showing that progress you've made on MAP violations. Now, for this presentation, we will be going over Amazon US, and we do tend to focus on Amazon US because it presents the most opportunity. So it's where people have seen the most problems with sellers and pricing issues, so we do focus on that. But we have the ability to track international. So we'll monitor Canada, UK, Germany, France, and Japan. We'll monitor price comparison sites like Google and Yahoo. Now what you'll get from those is basically other retail websites. It will pull in other third-party results, and they have listings that are set up similar to Amazon. Now we also have the ability to monitor eBay as well. Down into the brand watch reports. So these reports will show you by listing. We'll track all your listings for the subscription. And this first report will just show you all those listings we're tracking. You're able to see the product name, the number of sellers on that listing, and just kind of get an idea of the pricing issues on there. So if we click into one of these, we're able to see the number of sellers on there and where they are priced. So you'll notice a few icons there. Right next to that listing name, there's an orange exclamation point. So that will just make you aware of any new violations that have occurred within the last 24 hours. So you'll see next to that seller name, we got the orange exclamation point. This is a new violator. So this way you can go through those reports and you can easily identify those new violations that have happened since yesterday. You'll also notice this box with an X. This has the inventory on hand if it's less than 20 units. So we like to display that just so you know where to put a majority of your time and work into figuring out who these sellers are. If they just have 1 unit, it might not be worth your time to try and figure out who they are. So we'll display that if it's less than 20 units. Also have the FBA icon, which will just show you fulfilled by Amazon. So if this seller is selling a product of yours that is fulfilled by Amazon. So next to that, we have the price with this little camera. And if you click on this, it will take you to an offer listing. So this will show you just on Amazon who those sellers are and where they are priced. Down here at the bottom, we have a date and a timestamp of when this was collected. So you can use this just as proof of a seller at a certain price point and save it, right click, save it for your own records. So next to that, we have the variance and the price history. So as I was saying, we keep track of price history so you can see where they've been priced at for as long as they've been in the listing. And then next to that, we have the seller info. So if you come into this listing, you're looking at the sellers and you don't recognize one, what you can do is come and hit this view and you can see any information we've collected on that seller. So the information we work to find are email addresses, phone numbers, physical addresses, websites, other names they've used on Amazon, and other names they might be doing business under. So you can use this in a few different ways. You can use this to compare to your own customer list. Maybe if you have another retailer at that address, you can compare those two, or you can use it to attempt to contact them in some way. So the information we work to find will basically just be anything that will help you in the identification process. Now, if you run into an instance where we do not have information on a seller, what you can do is click the view button, see what comes up, hit request info. You can write us a note like address, please, if you're looking for something in particular. Hit request, and that goes directly to us, and we work in the next 1 to 3 days to try and find some sort of information on that seller. So we have brand watch broken up into a few different reports. We have all listings, we have listings above, at, and below map with the top 10 variances, which will show you those largest deviations from that map or MSRP. Down into Seller Tracker. Now, as opposed to Brand Watch, Seller Tracker is broken up by seller, so you're able to see, very quickly all of the sellers on that channel, and then which products of yours that they are selling. Now we have a few additional reports in Seller Tracker. You're able to see the number of sellers offering below map. Like I was saying, you're able to see new sellers today. We keep track of seller name changes, and I'll go over that a little bit more in just a second here. And then the requested information. So just a minute ago when I requested information on a seller, you can find whether that the result was conclusive or inconclusive in this report. So similar to the brand watch reports, if we click into one of these sellers, you're able to quickly see which products they're selling and where they are priced on those products. And we have some of the same features as well, so you're able to see the information up here on that seller. You're able to see if the product is fulfilled by Amazon. We keep track of the screenshots and also look at the price history. Now, as I was saying, we also keep track of seller name changes. So one of the ways that Amazon sellers are able to hide their identity is they simply just change their name, change their logo, and they appear to be a brand new seller on your channel. A few months here, we can look at all the seller name changes that have occurred. So once people start to catch on to who these sellers are, they'll usually change their name and their logo. And if you weren't aware of that seller name change back to that specific account, you would see them as a new seller. So here's a good example. If we look at March 6th here, we have JSSJ Depot with this logo, change their name to Top Professional Supplies. So if this was something that you were monitoring on your own a few times a week, this would appear to be a brand new seller when really it was the same seller who just went through a name change. Now, if you'll notice to the left, we have the watch list and the ignore list. So let's say that you were aware of this name change, you see it in this report, and you go, I want to track this seller a little more closely. I want to focus a little more energy on them. What you can do is hit this clipboard with the plus to the left to the watch list. So like I was saying, this just allows you to isolate them and focus a little more energy on them so that you just know who is causing you problems. Now, if you have identified the seller, you realize that they're not causing you too many problems, what you can do is click that minus in the clipboard and it will add them to the ignore list. Now the last module I will go over here is case management. So once you've identified maybe a pricing issue or a seller in a listing that you can't identify or you don't know who they are, you request information on them, and let's say we're able to come up with an email address for that seller. Case management is a module that's designed to contact those sellers whose email we've collected from within Perispect and track that correspondence as well. Contacting that seller directly and create case. So for demo purposes, we just have developer and support here, but your account would have all of those sellers whose email we've collected. So you would start by creating a template or using one of the templates we already have. So you can go in here, you can find the template you want to use, and then copy and paste it, change the verbiage. If you have some verbiage you want written and you want to save it for another case you're creating, you can add that in here. Create a signature as well to use at a later time. Then you would select that template from the drop down. Fill in that information with the date, product name, company name. Now we also have the ability to select a product and it will add it to a table at the bottom of the email. One of the things we're finding is the first response to a case message is always which products are you referring to. So we made it very easy for you to add those products to the bottom of the email. The ability to see the content, see what the subject of the email is, you can change it, edit the content in any way you would like, add that signature. You also have the ability to add a attachment. So if there's a map policy or something you would like to see, maybe a screenshot, you can add that attachment here. Continue and see the content. You'll see, what's been written. You'll be able to see what products and then the signature at the bottom. And then once you verify it's what you would like to send, hit send. A case will be created and you will be alerted of any responses that have been made to that case. So we can click in here, see one of the cases, see what's been written, change the status on that case as you're going through the process of communicating with this seller. And then you can also see, like I was saying, what's been written if there's been a response to any of those cases. Now, additionally, if you have sellers whose email we've not collected or not been able to find, you can contact that seller through Amazon and we will take you to their Amazon details page and allow you to contact the seller that way. And we also have a note section where you can track that correspondence as well. So that's basically an overview of Perispect. I mean, there are some additional features that are within that you can really dive into once you get started on either the free trial version or the subscription version. But those are the reports, how they're laid out, and then the case management feature, which allows you to contact them as well. So I'll throw my contact info up here. If you guys need to contact me in any way, here it is. There's my email address. There's my phone number. So we have a few frequently asked questions here that I will address right now. The first one is, how do you get the most out of your Perispect subscription, and when does it work best? So one thing I always say is Perispect is an excellent tool. It will function the way you need it to. If you're signing in and you are working towards eliminating those map violations or those unauthorized or unknown sellers, but it is just a tool. It won't work on its own. So you get the most out of the subscription, or we've seen the best results from our subscribers the more they are signing in. So the more they're signing in, they're looking at the reports and they're kind of chipping away. So to clean up a channel on Amazon, it can take time. It's not something that is fixed overnight, and there isn't, unfortunately, the one solution to it. that is, you know, super quick. So the best results, and I guess you get the most out of your Perispect subscription the more frequently you're signing in and the more you're using it. A lot of the seller information we're able to find is really a back and forth. So we might be able to find, let's say, lead information, like we have good information that we haven't totally 100% connected to a seller. So then at that point, we ask the subscribers to reach out and then either confirm or deny that information. So a lot of the information that's in there is really kind of a back and forth. So another question we have is, let's say you know, you're really busy, like you don't have time to sign in and really dig through these reports. Is there any way you can email them to me? And the answer to that is yes. We do have the ability to do email reports. So they're broken up into a few different emails. We have the summaries. Now the summaries will come as frequently as you want them to. So we can do once a week, twice a week, once a month. You can set the frequency of them, and they will show you all of those violating sellers, how many products they're selling on and which products they're violating on. So you know, you can just basically just get that snapshot as frequently as you want, and it will alert you to those violating sellers. So the next email report is the alerts. So these fire off every day or as frequently as you are having those data collections. And they basically just will show you any new sellers that get into those listings and any new violations that have occurred. So as I was going through that presentation, I went over the orange exclamation points. So anytime those new violations occurred at the end of the data collection, you can get those email alerts, and those will show you those new violations. So the next question is, how often is data collected? Well, you know, for some subscriptions, it's good enough just to collect data once a day. So we'll just go out in the morning, we'll collect the data, and that's enough for them. That's their day's data to work off of. Now, something that a question that we get a lot is, you know, who dropped first? Who dropped those prices first and started that war for the buy box? So we have the ability to monitor up to every hour. So if you were monitoring that every hour, you'd be able to track that a little more closely. So, you know, like I was saying, for some, we just do once a day, and then we have the ability to monitor up to every hour if you wanted to track that a little more closely. Awesome. Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me at that email up on the screen, and I can, you know, address those as we come up. If you would like some additional support, like if you need to go through a demo or training, you feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call. And we do offer free trials. So if you are interested in Perispect, but you're not sure if it's something that, you know, you want to pay for right away, we do a free 15-day trial. So get a hold of me if you're interested in that. And yeah, thank you very much for attending this Perispect webinar, and have a great day. Thank you.